What's up, everyone? Back with the Crow's Nest entry, whatever number this is, because I don't remember. Probably not that. It's probably not that deep in it, but you know. But yeah, how are you guys? It's been a minute. I know. It's been probably like a month or two since I've actually done one of these, because I was talking to my buddy Liz yesterday. Shout out to Liz. I love you, Liz. Liz was telling me about how important my voice was needed in times like this. She reminded me of my days as when I was in college, when I was president of the Black Student Association, aka BSA, and how I me and my team, we were able to create this community that felt like conversations could be had, your voice could be heard, but more importantly, just providing a space where everyone can kind of connect and just, sometimes we didn't even do anything. We just were hanging out. And because I knew there was something, it was important that we just kind of, stick together in that regards to me, especially at that time. SCAD is predominantly white school, essentially. And there really wasn't a lot of black people there, black students. So when I got passed the mantle by Ed Jr., shout out to Ed, I was because I didn't even feel qualified for it, quite frankly. I thought of leadership as something that was like you have to have all these things under your belt before you can properly say, "Oh, I can lead anyone." And so I just never flexed with who I was and how vast my knowledge was. Like, I felt like I knew a lot of things, but I just did the best of what I could with what I had. So because of that, I knew I'm a people person. I know that, my methodology in life, I'm realizing, is that I like to put medicine in candy for the real, what I'm trying to get at to be said. Because sometimes truth can be a lot. I think Elijah Muhammad said, you cannot present people who are blind with pure light unless you are people who have essentially dim vision with pure light, because you'll blind them. So you have to kind of gradually work your way to be able to kind of bring people up to a certain place of knowledge, right? He also gave the analogy of you don't give a baby raw meat at first, you give them milk. So you got to meet people where they are, basically. And I grew up on I grew up on the Nation stuff, right? So, I grew up listening to Louis Farrakhan. I've been to several Louis Farrakhan lectures in person. That's in my code, you know what I'm saying? Like, my mother was listening to him when she was pregnant with me. And, so I feel like it's in my DNA. So I think growing up with listening to Louis Farrakhan, actually, and on top of being mentored by Kappas before I left high school, really set me up to be able to lead. So when I did BSA, I just put the wisdom and I put the teachings that what I knew in the meetings or even in the events, you know what I'm saying? Because I knew people like to have fun, because I like to have fun. So I made poetry night, we made poetry, we made poetry night lit. You know what I'm saying? We used to do these things called poetry nights. They were like massive events that we used to do. Like, it'd be like, I remember the first event was like 80 people, and then it ended up being like 200 people, and it just kind of numbers just kept growing. You know what I'm saying? So Liz was just reminding me of how impactful that was for her. And so she was saying that my voice alone is very necessary. And granted, I wouldn't be able to move the way that I did if it wasn't for my homeboys. My closest friends are the ones who helped me with that, like Amir, Jonas, Asher. You know what I'm saying? Michelle, Monty, WT, you know what I mean? It was a lot. And, man, I'm blanking out because there's so many people. Kim, Mosley at one point, you know what I'm saying? Hank at one point. There was a lot of people. And I remember people just walking up to me asking me, how can I help? How can I help you, Jamal? Yada, yada, yada. I wasn't the most effective leader in that time, only because my flaw in that was that two things I feel. I wasn't good at delegating. You know what I'm saying? There's a part of me that does feel like I have to do everything, even though at the time I felt like I had to do everything, even though I wasn't great at everything. you know, perceptions, or, you know, I've learned that, you know, a good leader is one who's able to pass the baton on to someone. If there's something that you know you can't do, you know, pass that on. And it's really about any organization, any movement is like the human body. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's organs in your body that have totally different functions from one another, but they're all working together to keep this upheld, right? So I learned recently that I'm the brain. I was really the brain of the thing, basically. Everyone else was handling all that other shit, but I didn't know how to really delegate it. And granted, we made it work, but there was still a lack of delegation because there were really people actively asking me, how can I help you? And I wasn't sure what to tell them. And then two, I wasn't good at making money, which the funny thing is about the interesting aspects about being black in America, I felt, was that, like, you can have a lot of wonderful things going on in America. You can have a lot of great movements going on, especially if you're black. But oftentimes, we do not have the knowledge of how to circulate money. And that's something that goes way back in the day. That stems from slavery being ended. Certain communities learned how to be able to, you know, do economics, things of that nature, and I got fucking bombed for it. But nonetheless, most of us didn't have that knowledge that was given to us. Essentially, it wasn't, because it's funny, you know, you don't talk integration, but then you don't teach people how to fucking be able to create communities. You can integrate, but you can't create communities for yourself to be able to thrive. But you can integrate and get what we already have for you, even though you got to do fucking acrobatic leaps and bounds just to even fully enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's such a double-edged sword. So, like, you know, when I was doing BSA, yeah, we had a community and it was thriving, but it wasn't making money like that. You know what I'm saying? And then there's other movements. I remember, like, afterwards, when I chose Julian to be president of BSA, and Gerard Wheeler, the advisor, came in, he had the knowledge of business. He also had the knowledge of how to market himself. So the marketing kind of just went that route, you know what I'm saying? So that's what strengthened the power of that particular aspect of BSA. But it was still interesting, man, because I still have people who say they miss when I was doing it, even after school. Like, I've been out of school for about damn near 6 years, and I still got people who say I miss the environment that you created. So, again, shout outs to Liz, man. I love you so much for sharing that with me. It's some very interesting times, obviously, man. Everything that's going on. I cried, of course, when George died, bro. Like, when George Floyd died, I died. I cried. I cried, for sure. For a number of reasons. But, you know, the pain of watching that. But also me seeing the shift. And I've been really concerned about my friends and my family members, because it's interesting. Like, I feel like right now I can be black as fuck because everyone is mad. And this made me realize, like, I've seen so many posts from friends and family members who are just like visibly, like, they're just saying how upset they are with everything. And I remember, and I was very, like, I was taken aback in many ways, because it was like, yo, this is dope. Everybody tight. And then, and now with all the riots and shit going on, it's like the rebellions and these rebellions, everything like that's going on right now. I'm like, yo, I can talk. I can really go there now, because I never felt like I could. I held a lot of stuff back that I felt like I could save for my art, which I still will. But I'm like, yo, everybody's tight. And I think it might have made me realize how mad I've always been. I've always been angry. And I think I've gotten to a place where I'm like Hulk in Avengers, where it's like, that's my secret. I'm always angry. Because because you get me started, I'm going. I'm always angry. I'm always mad, essentially. I think I've learned how to deal with my anger with America and the way we're treated. I learned how to handle that through Louis Farrakhan. That's a man who speaks from passion, but he knows how to conduct himself. And that was always very, very, very inspiring to me. So I think I was able to do that. And so it's very interesting seeing people, I feel, not to say that no one ever felt this way, obviously, but I just think it's very interesting. I think it's beautiful to see how many people are like, yo, this is some bullshit. And I'm like, yes, we can have frank conversations now. And so, you know, and even the way that I even believe and how I move is, like I said, man, I can't stress this enough, man. I would not be who I am if it wasn't for Louis Farrakhan, bro. I would not be that. I wouldn't be who, you know, Elijah Muhammad and so, you know, and Master Farad Muhammad. I wouldn't be who I am, straight up. You know what I'm saying? And so I say to people, like, look, if you need any kind of comfort, one, you can, you know, we can talk, right? And then two, bro, listen to Farrakhan, man. I cannot stress that enough. Listen to Louis Farrakhan, bro. Run to him. I'm telling you, everything you're seeing right now, they've been talking about that since the 30s. They foresaw all this, bro. I'm telling you, man. If you need any kind of comfort, because that's what's been giving me comfort, honestly, because I know the time. And I'm probably going to talk about this a little later in the video or something, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm telling you, bro, if you need any kind of comfort of mind, peace of mind, I'm telling you, go listen to Farrakhan. If you need lectures from me to check out, bro, holla at me. I'm telling you. But these are some interesting times, man. So, and all I've been doing since this quarantine has hit, for example, is I just been reflecting, getting more centered, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna definitely share my revelations with y'all. But yeah, I just wanted to do something real quick. I'm trying to make my videos actually quicker, period, because I be running my mouth about whatever. But there's so much to talk about right now. And Liz told me, and my mom has told me, is that I have to give me my all, because I have a lot to give. Sometimes I hold back shit because I want to, I feel like maybe it's too strong to say, but hey, given the climate right now, I'm gonna say whatever now, because everybody pissed. Everybody, I'm telling you, I realize how angry I actually have been. I'm Huey, straight up. I've been an angry black man all my life. I just don't show it, personally, unless you know me. You know how passionate I get. So anyway, more Frank videos coming. But love you guys. Hope you're doing good. Take care. Peace.